Where if it's the President of the United States, for instance, that makes this admission, how long do we really think it's going to take before the mainstream scientific community, after their initial shock and spending a week running around pulling the hair out of their heads, they come down and then they figure this out. They'll know that there are answers. They will know there are answers, and they will find those answers. And whatever it is, we're going to be using it. And how will that change our world? It's a wonderful thing, and it's kind of a difficult thing. You know, a device that can heat your home forever for cheap is wonderful, but what if it's convertible into a bomb that can blow up a country or more? It's possible. And so this is technology that we have to handle in a responsible way. Enough on that. There's so much more. And I wrote about this at some length in AD After Disclosure. Then you get geopolitical unrest. Think about the Middle East today. What's going to happen when those petroleum-producing countries suddenly will discover, hey, we don't really need your petroleum, thanks very much for the ride. The people in those nations may not be too happy with their political structure at that time. Saudi Arabia will not be able then to buy off their citizens with money like they're doing now. What about the U.S.? We saw demonstrations of 1 million people in Tahrir Square in Egypt. Don't you think there might be a march of 1 million people or more on S4, Area 51, right, Pat? Dugway Proving Ground, Los Alamos National Labs? Maybe. I'll bet you Wackenhut Security can stop a march of 100 people, but not 1 million. Not 1 million. And don't you think that just might happen? And then opening up a new truth movement, because once UFOs, then 9/11. JFK, underground bases, you name it, chemtrails. It's all going to be on the table. My God, what an exciting, challenging mess it's going to be. And so that, in other words, the moment of disclosure is not the end of anything. It's the beginning of the true fight for truth. Not the end. Yes? Now, any political leader, pretend you're, I don't know, Barack Obama, and it happens next week. I don't think it's going to happen next week. I'm not too favorable about all these predictions, by the way, that say, yeah, the disclosure is going to happen, whenever. It will happen, but it won't happen until they're absolutely pressed to the wall to do it, and they'll only do it to control spin and to try to maintain control. But you see, that's